the NHRA into Topeka. And IndyCar looks ahead to Memorial Day weekend. Emotional moments on RPM Tonight. All next. And welcome, race fans, and so long, North Wilkesboro. It's RPM Tonight, closing scene edition. North Carolina is where we start, where Winston Cup finished up. It's the state where a 6-year-old got collared for stealing a kiss and where the new owners of a racetrack stole away its events. The Tyson Holly Farms 400, the 93rd and final Winston Cup event at North Wilkesboro, and there was sunrise when the sun set on this track. The gates opened, 40,000 strong in attendance. The track built strongly on the efforts of Carolina native Junior Johnson. The drivers all lined up for a picture. Jeff Gordon blinked. They had to take it again. And yes, the fans will miss you. North Wilkesboro, they're racing lap 70. And Kyle Petty's into the leader, Ernie Irvin. Then Bobby Hamilton. Petty spins up against the wall. Irvin got the worst of it in the pits. Got held for having too many men over the wall. Larry McReynolds, Irvin's crew chief, is furious. He's displeased. I will avenge my driver. The officials do not want to hear about it. The damage and the penalty cost Irvin contention. Up front, lap 127. Jeff Gordon inside on Rusty Wallace. He takes the lead. Rick Mass tries to squeeze by. He bumps Wallace. Wallace gets loose, but he hangs on, keeps it under control. Going wasn't easy for Gordon. Trying to pass Dave Marcus. He gets squeezed by Morgan Shepherd as Marcus came down. Jeff had to slam on the brakes, had to smoke him to keep him wrecking. Stays in it. Lap 221. Earnhardt wants to lead, and what Dale wants, he goes fly by Jeff up high. Childress, his driver, having his best run in weeks, but the lead was short-lived because Jeff Burton going inside goes after Earnhardt, and he got the lead, but he would pit and then give it up. Derek Cope's car is then taken over by Cheech and Chong. Everybody okay, but Cope ended up in last place. Fierce battle for second between the two Dales. Jarrett, Earnhardt, they bump again. It forces Jarrett way down low. Earn holds on for second. Now a good short track racing here on board with Kyle Petty as he slams with Brett Bowden. You can see the scuff mark on the lens. Lap 303, Earnhardt wants to lead again from Gordon. He goes low and gets into the front. Lap 309, Gordon, now he drops to the inside on the straightaway, and he takes the lead right back just like that. 3 laps later, Earnhardt back on Gordon. He goes inside and takes first place. Caution number 4 now, lap 315, Gordon pits. Earnhardt pits as well, and now they race to the line. Who would get out first? It's Dale. He gets out of the pits and in front. To lap 322, here comes Jeff trying to press Earnhardt, and he goes right by him, flying into the lead. And now we have a gratuitous Ray Evernham shot as Jeff Gordon is in front. Off turn 4, the final lap now, and Gordon is taking the checkered flag once again. He's the hottest driver. He's the leading driver, and he'll go down as the last driver to win a Winston Cup event at North Wilkesboro, leaving behind a half-century of memories at that great track and some tears on the final day. But none for Jeff Gordon's crew, because that's his 3rd win in a row, 4th in 5 races, and 10th of the season. Dale Earnhardt was up for second. His first top 5 finish in 12 races. Dale Jarrett, 3rd place, just like in the points. Then Jeff Burton with a great run for 4th, and Terry Labonte in the 5 spot, losing more ground to the points leader, Jeff Gordon. Rick Mass was good for 6th, the first Pontiac to cross the line. Then Ricky Rudd, Bobby Hamilton, Mark Martin, and Rusty Wallace is the last of the top 10 and the last of the Winston racing at this track. Here's the winner with Dr. Jerry Punt.
Jeff, what an outstanding effort today.
Man, I tell you what, this team is awesome, awesome. You know, we just tried to save tires all day long, and I had to change my line on that last set of tires. I learned a little something from Dale Earnhardt today. You know, I'm always learning something from him, and he had a little bit better line around there, saving tires a little bit better. I could be real quick on new tires, but it'd fade on the long runs. And man, I tell you what, the guys just did a great job of adjusting that last set of tires, and it was perfect.
You've been in the record books for a lot of reasons. You're going to be in the record books for the winner, the final winner in Winston Cup racing at the Wilkesboro Raceway. That's got to be special.
Such a special. That's why I'm so excited, because, I mean, this is North Wilkesboro. I'm not supposed to win at North Wilkesboro and Martinsville. I don't know what's going on. It's been crazy this year. But to be the last race, Winston Cup race is going to be here, you know, it's like you feel sorry, but at the same time, you know, you're elated to go down in history in the record books. And I think these fans saw a great show today. That was one heck of a race all the way to the finish.
As we said, Gordon's win was his 10th this season, and that ties him with Rusty Wallace for the most wins in a season in the 1990s with 4 races left to go. In the 80s, 10 was topped by Earnhardt and Elliott with 11 each, and 12 topped twice by Darrell Waltrip. Sunday, a big comeback run for Dale Earnhardt. He led 3 different times in the race for a total of 35 laps, and ended up in the 2nd spot.
It feels real good. The team needed this. They needed a shot in the arm, and things to turn around. And I can't say enough for them for this race car. They did a good job, and we really had to take it easy on these tires. The tires were a factor, and racetrack's so wore out, and we definitely weren't going to get a new pavement for this last race. So we just had to take it easy on the tires and do the best we could, and manage the tires is what it was all about.
Earnhardt's 2nd place was his best since the 2nd at Charlotte in late May. It figures he righted himself at North Wilkesboro because in 36 career starts there, he finished in the top 10 32 times with 5 wins altogether. His average finish of 6.2 is best among active drivers. On now to some adulation over the current top driver.
You know, he's been on a heck of a streak here lately, running awful well. It's going to be hard to beat him, so we just got to go and do the best we can in all the rest of these racetracks. We run good at these racetracks coming up, but that doesn't really mean anything.
If Gordon's going to win, you got to finish right next to him, and that's all that we can do is sit there and maybe, you know, he'll have some problems somewhere along the way, but especially after last week, as bad as we ran, we needed a good run here today.
You know, I want to win a race, man. You know what I mean? I keep thinking about what we did, what we could have done to run better today, and, you know, if I could finish up the race the way we started out, I mean, I had a real shot at winning the race the first half of the race. The second half, you know, the track got a little slicker, and we got our car off a little bit, and I never was quite able to put my finger on it.
I know right here that we was fast enough to be a, who knows, 3rd, 4th place car again, and it's just the circumstances didn't work good for us.
We missed it today. We weren't as good as we thought we'd be. We usually run better at North Wilkesboro than we did today, and I don't know, the car just didn't handle very good.
So a lot of drivers with Jeff Gordon on their minds. The points go this way. No wonder they're thinking about Jeff. He's now pulled to a 111-point lead on his teammate Terry Labonte. Top 5 saves put from last week. Jarrett in 3rd, and then Earnhardt and Martin. Ricky Rudd moved from 8th up to 6th. Rusty Wallace from 9th to 7th. Ken Schrader and Ernie Irvin each lost a spot. Sterling Marlin is anchored in 10th. Later on RPM tonight, we will revisit North Wilkesboro, where Jeff Gordon went back to back, and back-to-back titles are looking pretty good right now. Angelle Sealing made history 2 weeks ago, becoming the first female to win an NHRA Pro Stock bike event. And this weekend, she set out to prove that it was no fluke. She got a great start as the top qualifier in Topeka for the Sears Nationals, and in fact, she had a chance to race in the final, but she elected not to because it would have meant going against her teammate John Myers. He's in the hunt for the points championship. So Sealing sat it out and watched as Myers pretty much ran on his own. So Sealing, who was the first woman to win the Pro Stock bike event, is now the first woman to sit out a Pro Stock bike event final. Pro Stock final, I say. Jim Yates in the far lane up against Ray Franks, and away they go. This is close. They're flying together, but it's Yates by 3/100ths of a second. Yates wins 195 miles per hour and change, and the parachute works. Funny car. And they are hysterical. 2 teammates, Tony Pedregon and John Force. Force, of course, has already clinched the points championship. But what does he do in this race against his teammate? Pedregon far lane, blows the engine early, and John Force wins easily. Force, a record 12th win this season. Finally, top fuel dragster, Jim Head in the Smoke and Joes up against Kenny Bernstein and the Bud King Racing. Bernstein, a little wheel stand early, and that's not going to help. Jim Head gets his first victory in Top Fuel final for 1996. The points go like this. Bernstein, the leader in Top Fuel, of course, the late, great Blaine Johnson still stands in 2nd. Funny car, John Force, as I said, has already clinched the championship. Yates leading Johnson, and because the teammate helped out, Myers has now taken the lead over Schultz in Pro Stock bikes. IndyCar news. The 1997 IndyCar schedule is a month overdue now, and the stumbling block is the month of May. RPM tonight has learned the group is considering a race in mid-May opposite pole day at Indianapolis. It might be held outside the United States, maybe even in Brazil. As for the U.S. 500, CART is again considering the Memorial Day weekend to rival the Indy 500, but might hold it until another date. IndyCar sources did confirm the U.S. 500 will not be run at Homestead, as had been indicated in some reports. IndyCar Board of Directors is scheduled to meet this Thursday to work out the details. We're coming right back with still more of RPM tonight. Back with pickup truck racing. Ron Hornaday Jr. trying to hold the points lead. and trying to hold on to his truck. ASA Racing is also going. The Wild Ride of Tom Jones will be included, and the always interesting World of Outlaws crew went at it. A Kinzer will figure.
RPM Tonight is being brought to you by Snickers. Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. Hungry? Why wait?
And away they go. ASA Toledo 400. The points leader, Scott Hansen. He has car failure. He would have to retire. Not forever, just from this race. A lot of cautions. Kenny Irwin Jr. White Tub. Dr. Yale Conley's into Irwin. Brett Bell then into Conley. It's a big mess. And then Rob Pyle's car runs into Tom Jones. Jones spinning out. And Jones also is going to need to use his spare tire because that thing's flying away. More trouble on the track. We got Ed Cooper spinning out. Dave Dorn's into Cooper, then Bill Baird into Dorn. In total, 15 cautions for 73 laps. A big pig pile out there. 7 laps to go. Brad Loney looking to make a move, but Dave Senzaba shuts Loney off from the lead. And now we move ahead. 3 laps to go. Loney squeezing by Senzaba here. He floors it. And Loney hangs on to win his first ASA race title. It's Loney, Senzaba, and Tony Raines in a group photo. Tony Raines replaces Scott Hansen now as the new points leader. Hansen moves all the way down to 4th after that engine trouble forced him to finish 33rd. They'll do it again racing Sunday in Salem, Indiana. World of Outlaws. Greenwood, Nebraska, Friday night. Mark Kinzer in the 5 car takes lead on Andy Hillenberg with that move. Midway in the race now, Hillenberg loses 2nd spot to Steve Kinzer. There's always a Kinzer involved. Mark Kinzer picks up the Friday night win. He would be in the hunt on Saturday night as well. Here we are. It's the Saturday night now. Cornhusker fever on the ground. Lap 5, Sammy Swindell. He blows the tire. He's in trouble. Late in the race, Mark Kinzer grazing the wall. It wouldn't damage his car, though. He would hang in there. And Kinzer, his 24th win of the year. Jeff Swindell ends up in 2nd. And it was Andy Hillenberg in 3rd, and a lesser group photo there. The Outlaw points go like this. Mark Kinzer is the man with 24 wins, as mentioned. A big, big lead on 2nd place Dave Blaney now with 13 races left for the Chasers to try to close in on Kinzer. Lowe's 250. These are trucks, pickup trucks, the Craftsman Truck Series, and away they go. Ron Hornaday Jr., the points leader, lap 78. Mike Skinner 2nd in points going inside after Johnny Benson. He got the lead. Benson had led the first 77 laps. Short track race in here. Kenny Wallace rubbing Dan Press on the turn. Nothing Press can do but spin around. And lap 174. Now you see Skinner slowing down a bit. Actually, you will see that now. I feel that you're going to see Skinner slowing down. I've seen it before. There it is. He slows down, and Jack Sprague could eat no fat. He's on the lead. Then Harry Gant bumps into the braking Skinner. Both cars slam up against the wall. Skinner had heavy damage, but he would continue in the race. Now they go off the restart after they try to fix Skinner's car, also known as a truck, because these are pickup trucks. Lap 178, Mark Martin, the 99, heads inside, takes the lead from Jack Sprague, and then the battle moves to 2nd spot. Sprague would fall back to 3rd, comes back, sneaks past Benson, and wants 2nd spot. He'd get it. Benson would follow back to 7th. Lap 222, we're on board with Mike Bliss. Hornaday tries passing on the inside, but they touch, and Hornaday ends up cutting his right rear. As a result of that, he spins, he hits the wall, falls a lap down. Then he was penalized 2 laps for passing the pace truck. That's cheating. Ends his streak of running every lap this season. Robbie Gordon, he's out there making his truck debut, and he's spinning around on lap 241. He ended up in 13th spot, did the IndyCar regular. Through it all, Mark Martin taking the checkered flag. He's in front. His first truck win in only a 2nd series race, and here he is.
I just want to thank this Exide team, Jack Rash, for giving me a chance. And Exide and Ford, we had a good truck today, and we played it smart, conserved our tires, and let it rip when it was time to go.
No shame in finishing 2nd to Mark Martin. I tell you, we got beat by one of the best in the business, and that's pretty much a victory.
We wanted a real tight set of tires for track position if we was in the lead, but they had the tires all fixed, and it was just too tight there at the end. We couldn't get them back, but it was an unfortunate deal. I kind of got suckered on the last lap there, but we'll get them next week.
You saw Robbie Gordon, the IndyCar regular, spinning out in that race. He's headed to Winston Cup this coming season. The points stand this way with 4 to go. Hornaday's lead has been cut into because of his 22nd place finish. Skinner is a closer 2nd after finishing 9th in Saturday's race, and Sprague nearly cut the deficit in half with his 2nd place, so 3 of them going after the title as the season comes to a close. We're back to North Wilkesboro in just a little bit, where you stood out on an old track's final day. but Jeff Gordon knows very well that there are 4 races left to go.
No, I don't feel like we have any cockiness. I think we've got a lot of confidence in what we're doing right now, and that certainly pays off.